pipeline process. So if you want to hang in and learn how to have a trackable sales pipeline process for your coaching business so you can convert more clients, then today's session is just what you need. It is a structured approach to manage your leads, your marketing leads, your qualified leads, so that you can close more deals. We're going to cover all the different stages of a sales pipeline so that when you get people who are considered a lead, or are they a marketing qualified lead or a sales qualified lead, you will be able to make sure no leads are falling through the cracks. So welcome to Strategy with Sally. It's our weekly live. Hang on in as we have our dance party.
They keep saying I'll be fine, but how you know that I'll be there when it feels like I'm lying every time someone asks how it goes, and I save the details that actually mean something. Sun is shining, but the rain is welcome too. Friends are nearby, don't need another view. Time is not on my mind, but then it's you. Oh, I love it when the love comes around, and then I remember all things must pass. But I'm not gonna wake up, wake up. I'm not ready, let me have another day. Don't wake up, wake up. Keep it steady, cause I'm happy, I'm not gonna wake up. No, no, not yet, whoa. No, not yet, whoa. No, no, not yet, whoa. But I'm not gonna wake up, wake up. Don't wake up, wake up. Keep it steady, cause I'm happy, I'm not gonna wake up, wake up. I'm not ready, let me have another day. Don't wake up, wake up. Keep it steady, cause I'm happy, I'm not gonna wake up. No, no, not yet, whoa. No, not yet, whoa. No, no, not yet, whoa. I'm not gonna wake up. You're like a circle that floats around me, keeping me safe and sound. And when I fall, you tied a rope to me. You're blessing me every day. I was down with an illusion, like a sparrow with broken wings. But now I shine with your reflection on me. I'm getting back up on my feet. That you showed up was written in my palm. You are a statement, explode like a bomb. I get to push myself to victory. You make me winner. You cut me loose and set me free. You make me win in every way. You showed me how to spread my wings. Yes, I'm the winner of the day. You cut me loose and set me free. You make me win in every way. You showed me how to spread my wings. Yes, I'm the winner of the day. Yes, I'm the winner, yeah. 'Cause I'm the winner, yes. Am I awake or am I dreaming? So far gone, I won't look back. And when I move, there ain't no stopping me. You're pushing me up to the top. I saw the clouds looking angry, but then the sky reached my mind. And when I space out, I see the possibilities unfolding the way that I want. That you showed up was written in my palm. You are a statement, explode like a bomb. I get to push myself to victory. You make holding on, I wouldn't let you go. 'Cause every time I try, you find a loophole. I've been slamming the door and just leave you cold. When I come back, you've heated up the South Pole. You see my body rush for the escape, while my heart wants to stay. I run away, hit the road, and almost there. But I keep turning back just like a boomerang. You're like a backseat ghost telling me to stop. No matter what you do, I keep on coming back. Just like a boomerang. Just like a boomerang. Just like a boomerang. I keep on spinning like a boomerang. You know exactly where to push or pull, and I am going mad just like you knew I would. You're reading me like an open book. You know me better than I ever thought you could. You see my body rush for the escape, while my heart wants to stay. I run away, hit the road, and almost there. But I keep turning back just like a boomerang. You're like a backseat ghost telling me to stop. No matter what you do, I keep on coming back. Just like a boomerang. I keep on spinning like a boomerang. My head is spinning on my shoulders. So what's the use of trying, baby? All the ways they lead to you. You're like a magnet pulling me in. I run away, hit the road, and almost there. But I keep turning back just like a boomerang. You're like a backseat ghost telling me to stop. No matter what you do, I keep on coming back. Just like a boomerang. Just like a boomerang. Just like a boomerang. I keep on spinning like a boomerang. Just like a boomerang. I keep on spinning for you. Like a boomerang. I keep on spinning like a boomerang. On the run from my given disaster, speed away from the holy mind, pride. That's where I never thought it would matter. If I'm gone by now, all my weakness keep on linger on repeat like it will be my favorite song. Oh, I know I should be moving on, but you got me good, you got me good. I keep on driving till it bends, still it feels like I pretend. Keep on driving and driving along the road to never end. Lost my head over my back between the jars and bottle jack. Just me and all the red lights. Keep on driving and driving. In the heat from my hot California, I forgot how you looked like in rain. That's why I never thought it would matter. If I'm gone by now, all my weakness keep on linger on repeat like it will be my favorite song. Oh, I know I should be moving on, but you got me good, you got me good. I keep on driving till it bends, still it feels like I pretend. Keep on driving and driving along the road to never end. Lost my head over my back between the jars and bottle jack.
Hey, all right, it's nearly time for kickoff. We are about to kick off for today's strategy with Sally. We're going to discuss the sales pipeline, but it's the Sparkle song to get us kicked off. So hang on in if you want to know how to stop letting leads fall through the cracks. I'm going to share our exact framework, the SCA way, when it comes to tracking your leads and sales. But of course, let's start with the Sparkle song.
Just give it a try. Think that it's time you let that spark out. You've been hiding in the shadows way too long. And who cares if you might mess it up? You're stronger than the others think. And who cares if you might mess it up? Go ahead and shine, darling. Go ahead and shine, my dear. 'Cause who cares if you might mess it up? Just shine. You shouldn't doubt yourself, 'cause you're a work of art. You should know that you are perfect with those flaws. Yeah, you better step into the light. Just give it a try. Know that it's time you let that spark out. You've been hiding in the shadows way too long. And who cares if you might mess it up? You're stronger than the others think. And who cares if you might mess it up? Go ahead and shine, darling. Go ahead and shine, my dear. 'Cause who cares if you might mess it up? Just shine, shine, darling. Go ahead and shine, my dear. 'Cause who cares if you might mess it up? Just shine. You're stronger than the others think. And who cares if you might mess it up? Shine. Go ahead and shine, darling.
All right, if you're joining me out there on the live stream, let us know where you're joining us from. Get those tippy tap fingers out. Come back to me. We're about to kick off. This is a really awesome session today. You're not going to want to miss it. Hello, welcome to Strategy with Sally. Today, if you want to know how to structure a sales pipeline so that leads aren't falling through the cracks, so that you know exactly where every single beautiful human is within your marketing and sales process, today's session is for you. So if you're joining me out there on the live stream, hi, hello, welcome to Strategy with Sally. We do this every single week on a Tuesday or Monday, depends on where you are in the world, with some quality content for you. If we haven't yet met, I'm Sally Sparks Cousins. I'm a crazy automation nerd. I love me some sexy, sexy numbers. And I founded the Sparkle Class Academy and created the Freedom Funnel Formula. But I just love helping people who love to help people. Are you somebody who loves to help and transform lives? Yes, you love to get out there and share your knowledge with the world. You want to leave a legacy and all that great stuff. We can do it, but also if you want to make money along the way and get paid for your skill set, your knowledge, your experience while transforming lives, then you need to be tracking your sales pipeline. Like, where are those people? They're beautiful humans sitting in a funnel But they are actually humans. They're not just a number or an email address. It's somebody who said, hey, I think I might need your help, right? So you want to make sure that you are tracking. So today's lesson is all about that. Before we kick off, I just want to say hi to the beautiful VIPs in the room. Hello. Lovely to see you all in here. And anyone out there on the live stream who is a VIP, come on into the VOZ. If you don't want to miss any of the lives, make sure you register for Dr. Sparkle as well, because she will let you know when we're going live. And if you want to see all the updates that we do in regards to our lives, they're all on YouTube. So head on over, subscribe, hit the bell so you also get the notifications. Ding, ding. Okay, so Today we are talking all about the sales pipeline and how it will help your coaching process. So let's head on over to my keynote as we dig on into the importance of having a sales pipeline in your coaching business. Because as a coach, you likely understand that you need to attract new clients to actually grow a business, right? However, simply generating leads or getting more email addresses is not enough. To be successful, you need to have a clear and efficient process in place to turn those beautiful leads into paying clients. And this is where having a sales pipeline comes in. So today we're going to focus on the different stages of a sales pipeline. And the goal is at the end of this lesson, you're going to know how to track those prospects from leads through to close of sale so that no one falls through the cracks. But first off, let's talk about a sales pipeline. What is it? Well, a sales pipeline is really, it's a structured framework that outlines the various stages at which somebody is moving through your sales process, from lead generation through to that client acquisition. Also, the pipeline provides a really clear framework for you, because as a coach, you need to also manage that sales process and ensure that that potential client moves through every stage efficiently and effectively. Each stage represents a different point in the sales process, such as the initial contact, follow-up, proposal, right through to closing of the sale. So let's see, why have a sales pipeline process? Well, one, it provides that clear sales process. So a pipeline helps you to define various stages of the sales process, providing both clarity for you as the coach and also for your potential client, right? It makes it easy for you to track their process and ensure that they move through each stage successfully. And a clear sales process will help your potential clients to understand what to expect, or especially you as the person trying to get the clients. It allows you to understand the likelihood of a successful sale. It also helps you to prioritize your leads. You see, not all leads, all people are created equal. You see, some leads are more likely to convert into paying clients than other leads. So a sales pipeline allows you to prioritize your leads based on the likelihood that they will convert. Now, this enables you to focus your efforts on the most promising leads, and it increases that chance of you securing new clients. Also, it helps to facilitate the follow-up, because the fortune is truly in the follow-up with those potential clients. And it is a crucial stage of the sales process. Now, a sales pipeline ensures that you stay on top of your follow-ups, providing reminders for when to reach out, when to call, when to text, when to message. This helps you to stay organized and also ensure that no one falls through the cracks. Also, it enables data tracking. You know, I love me some sexy numbers, right? With a sales pipeline in place, it will allow you to track your sales data and analyze the effectiveness of your sales process. So this information, it can be used to identify different areas within your business where you can make data-driven decisions, right? Measure what matters, and it helps you to optimize the sales pipeline. For example, you may discover that a certain stage of the pipeline takes much longer than others, and this could be an indication to you that maybe that process might need improvement. Also, it enables you to improve your forecasting and planning, right? We want to know what is coming, so that we can make informed decisions as well. So by tracking the process of potential clients through a pipeline, you can forecast the future revenue and start to plan accordingly. This enables you to, again, make informed decisions. Also, how to allocate resources, maybe staffing or other business priorities, or, goal for that thing that you might want to buy when you land the next client. So, for example, if you know typically you close 50% of your sales at the negotiation stage, then you can plan your resources according to the volume of people sitting in that stage. So with today's competitive landscape, when it comes to being a coach, having a well-defined sales pipeline is truly essential for you to acquire new clients and also use your time effectively and efficiently. You see, you want to make sure, one, that prospect has a very, very good positive experience, which helps you to then increase the conversion rates as well. So have a clear roadmap, right? Prioritize those leads, follow up with potential clients, track the sexy numbers, and forecast your revenue by implementing a sales pipeline into your coaching business so that you have a larger chance of success. So, stages that people go through when it comes to a sales pipeline, there are lots of different ways in which you can build a pipeline and track how you turn leads into paying clients. But having a well-defined sales pipeline is truly going to help you. So things to consider is the lead generation stage. So this is when clients first come onto your list. This is a potential client, and they're identified as a lead generation. Okay, so there are many ways to generate leads, including social media marketing, paid ads, email marketing, advertising, referrals. The goal of a lead generation is to attract potential clients who may be interested in the service that you have. The next stage is the qualification stage. So now we have a lead. An email is usually what I would classify as a lead. When we have that, now we need to qualify the lead, because not all leads, not all people are created equal inside of our pipeline. So this involves evaluating whether the lead is suitable for your service. So you may have a criteria that you need them to meet, like, do they fit a certain budget? Do they have a certain need? Is there a timeline they need to fit in? So you need to decide what are the things that qualify them as a lead. And the goal is to determine which are more likely to become paying clients. Then you want to do a needs analysis. Now, this stage of the pipeline, this is where coaches conduct an evaluation of the potential client? Okay, what are their needs and what are their goals? And this can involve answering a series of questions, asking them what their pain points are, what are their objectives, what are their desired outcomes. The goal of the needs analysis stage is to gain a better understanding of the client's situation and therefore determining whether or not your program is a good fit for their needs. Then we move to the proposal stage. So once you've done the needs analysis, you now need to develop a proposal stage for your potential client. Now, the proposal stage is where you outline the scope of what they get. So are you helping to do it with them? Are you doing it for them? Or are you giving them an online course where they've got to do it themselves? So you need to have like an offer available for them. So what is the price of that? What is the work involved? What's the timeline in which they will have to complete the process or the help that you're going to give them? And any other relevant details that the people need to know in order to decide now if they want to work with you. So once they get to the proposal stage, you need to make sure that you are now demonstrating the value of your coaching service and persuading the client to move forward with the engagement to work with you. Then we move to the closing of the sale. So this is where the person has now said, yes, I want to work with you. So you qualify them, then they qualify you, and now you've presented them with the offer and they've said yes. Now this involves finalising details such as contracts, collecting payments, setting up expectations for the actual engagement with you. Now the goal of closing is to solidify the engagement and initiate the actual coaching process that they're going to have with you. Then we move into onboarding. Now, this is the final stage of the sales pipeline where you onboard a new client. So for us, this will include sending a welcome email, sending out a contract, and also setting expectations for you and for them so that, you both know where you sit within the coaching agreement. So the goal of onboarding is to ensure that you wow the pants off them. They get a really positive experience and are prepared to start doing the work with you. So it is really important that at each stage of the sales process, that you also realize that it is not a linear process. Some leads may move forward and then back and between stages as their needs change throughout the sales process. So know that they're not just going to continuously just move through. Sometimes you've got to jump them back. And an effective sales pipeline is also flexible, allowing you to personalize the approach to each of the clients or potential clients. So understanding each of the stages is essential to your coaching business so you can attract new clients and grow your business. But please have a well-defined sales pipeline. You need to know how to effectively use your time. I know many of you are already stretched too thin, and spending time with unqualified leads is not the best use of your time. So whether you're a seasoned coach or you're just starting out, develop yourself a really strong sales pipeline. It is a key strategy to helping you really, truly achieve your business goals. So let me share with you the Sparkle Way, the SCA way, and the stages that we track inside our sales pipeline. I'm going to go through them quickly and then I'm going to break them down and explain to you exactly what each of these stages mean. So first stage is new lead. Then we move them to our MQL stage, which stands for marketing qualified lead. Now, within this stage, we have what we call an ATC, which means attempt to contact. So we try up to 9 times to contact them. Now, that is a variety of automation and also, well, actually it's more than 9. It's 9 manual and so many more automated steps as well. Then we also have a triage call. We have not qualified, qualified, appointment set. So we're getting them into a sales call. Appointment did not attend. Now, once we get past the marketing qualified stage, we move into the sales qualified stage. Now, this is where we move through a few different stages called negotiation, awaiting payment, won or closed, or lost. Now, each of these stages, let me just give you what the difference between a new lead, a marketing qualified lead, and a sales qualified lead is. So in business, a business is broken down usually into 2 major departments. A marketing department where the new leads are coming in, right? And what we're doing within the lead gen, the marketing qualified leads, is we're trying to qualify them. Okay, so now first off, they're qualified to market to them because they put in their email address. So a new lead is somebody who's just put in their email address. And that person could be so many different people. They could be funnel hackers like me, right? I'm not going to buy, but I want to go through your funnel. It could be your competition looking at what it is that you do. A new lead usually hasn't yet given us a phone number, right? Next stage, when they become marketing qualified, now we're like, I believe this person could potentially have the traits, the things that might be somebody who's interested in buying from us. We still haven't qualified them, but they are now in the marketing department. So we're making sure they're getting lots of content to start to qualify them, okay? Once we qualify them and we're like, yeah, we think, there's a few different pillars in which we qualify them, and that one I can share in another lesson, but there's a few pillars in which we qualify them, and if they hit a few of the key pillars, then we move them to the sales department. Now, in the sales department, there's more human-to-human connection. It means that they're at a stage in which we believe that this person now is qualified to potentially be a customer. Prior to that, they're in the marketing department. There's more automation happening in the marketing department because that list is big, like any funnel, right? There's more people at the top, and the lower down you get in the funnel, there's less people. When there's less people, we spend more quality time, like human to human marketing, H to H marketing, right? Human to human in the sales department to get them to finally say yes as well. All right. Okay. So that's a new lead. Then we have marketing qualified, or we call them MQLs, and sales qualified, which is SQLs, now potentially going to buy. So let me break each of these particular steps down for you into what they mean and how do you know which stage they're supposed to sit in. So a new lead is a person who has opted into one of your funnels and given you their email address, but there's no phone number. Okay, so in this stage, they've come in through any number of different marketing strategies where you collect an email address. Once you have an email address, they are just a lead, okay? Now, there is a manual process that we have in place for this. We will check the customer's file for a phone number, or we've got an automated system that checks automatically the customer's file for a phone number. And if there's a phone number, we move them to MQL, right? So now they're marketing qualified, which means we're going to attempt to contact them. Also, we've got some other automations going on in the background. Once they become a new lead, we want to know they're a new lead, so we send that off to a reporting campaign. Also, we're tracking when they come in, and some other great things that we send them off into long-term nurtures and all sorts of great stuff. So the main thing of a new lead is, 1, they've given us an email address. 2, the manual process, or if you've got automation set up well, check the file for a phone number, and if there is, then we move them to the next stage. So the next stage is when they become a marketing qualified lead. So a new marketing qualified lead is someone who has opted into our funnel and has given us their phone number. Okay, so now they've opted in, we can usually when they go to book an appointment and maybe they booked an appointment already, we've got their phone number, or maybe they went to book an appointment but didn't follow through, or maybe we've found their phone number on social because they've been engaged with us, or they've sent it to us in a text message because, they engage with our text messages. So now they've moved from just an email address into an inbox of some sort, and we're speaking with them. We can speak to them in Messenger, ManyChat, those types of social selling scenarios where it's more of a one-on-one conversation. So the manual part of this is we would put it on our setter's tracking sheet. So what a setter does is they go and make phone calls, right? Well, it's actually automated. It goes directly into a sheet, but the setter has to pick up the phone and call, okay? So what a setter does, you can totally Google it if you want to, but a setter is to set and qualify somebody, right? To try and book them into what's called a triage call. So once they've moved in and become a marketing qualified lead, we now move them to our ATC, which means attempt to contact, right? This is where we call people or we message people, whether it's through LinkedIn, Messenger, Instagram, or the phone. So we're messaging people. So we have attempt to contact. Now there is a couple of manual things. Manually, a setter will attempt to book what's called a triage call, and they'll try 9 times, okay? Now, when we try 9 times, we break. A first attempt to contact happens within 24 hours. The second attempt to contact happens a week later. Third attempt to contact happens 1 week later. Now, ATCs 4, 5, and 6, is a 2-week gap between each contact. And then ATCs 7, 8, and 9 is a 1-month gap between each contact. So this is a manual process where the ATCs are phone dials, inboxes, like they're manual processes. But on the back end of that, we automate the process as well. So when we attempt to contact and we leave a message, of course, we're going to text them and email and let them know, and then we're going to follow up, email them later. We can automate that entire process as well. And also, send off to reporting and all sorts of other great stuff. So once they're in ATCs, now we are reaching out to them to book a triage call. Now, once a triage call is booked, that means we've booked a qualifying call. Usually between 10 minutes to 15 minutes is a triage call. These are usually done by a setter, and it is to qualify the person using our qualification pillars. So we've got, I think it's 9 qualifying pillars they have to hit, 4 or 5 of the 9 to be qualified. And now they get to have a strategy session, aka a sales call, right, with somebody who can close. So the manual process of booking a sales triage call is the setter has attempted to contact between 1 to 9 times. When the triage call is completed, the setter then updates what the outcome of that call was. So did they qualify? Did they set an appointment? Were they not qualified? Right? So the setter needs to update what is actually happening with them after the triage call. Once they update that, it triggers off a heap of automation like reporting and things, so that we know that we now have a qualified person for a sales call. Okay, so the next stage after that, after the triage call, is not qualified. So the triage call has been conducted and they are not qualified. So the setter has realised that, hey, they're not a good fit for the program or they don't qualify for a strategy session. So this is triggered if we believe they're not a good fit for the Sparkle Class Academy, right? So the manual process after the triage call for this one is they tick a little box and say not qualified, enter why, and then we move them off to a long-term nurture. And once they're not qualified, if they then move to the next stage, which is qualified, now they are moving out of the MQL stage and into the SQL stage. So they're now sales qualified from that actual triage call that was conducted. But they may not yet be ready to book a call. So we've qualified them, but they say, no, I don't have time right now, and we can't seem to get them into an appointment. Okay, so now they sit at qualified, but we have not yet set an appointment. So, of course, there is a small manual process. The setter will update the tracker, okay, and we have to set a follow-up. Okay, remember the rule, we don't finish a conversation without booking the next conversation. So if we can't lock them into the calendar, we say, could we reach out to you in a week or 2 weeks and see where you're at? So they're expecting our phone call. All right. Now, after the triage call, you could move them into, so we had not qualified or qualified or appointment set. So appointment set means now they are definitely in the sales area and they have an appointment booked with the closer, okay? So, of course, once the appointment's set, the manual process is the setter will go in and move them to this stage, add any notes to the file so that the person who is about to take the call knows what's happening on the call and can review any information prior to the call as well. Now, after the appointment is conducted, a couple of things can happen. One, they don't attend the appointment. So if they don't attend the appointment, it's marked as a no-show, right? And now we are trying to get them back on the phone. So if they're in the appointment DNA stage, the manual process would be the closer. If they haven't arrived within 10 minutes, one, they would send a text message and let them know, hey, I'm waiting for you for our meeting. Are you having problems getting in? Here's the link to Zoom. Okay, now if they don't come in, then of course we're going to mark them as a DNA and it is handed back to the setter to try to get another call booked, which means this is the flexibility, right? This is why it's not linear. They now move back to ATCs. Okay, they've now in the attempt to contact stage so that we can do the same thing. Contact them within 24 hours, a week, a fortnight, a month. Takes us out to about 6 months that the setter is reaching out. Be good if people just said no, not interested, and we can take them off the list. But most people won't say no. They find it really hard. So it is your job as a business owner, as somebody wanting to help people, to reach out, okay? So this is where the pipeline isn't linear, okay? And the way we know what's happened with that person is because there'll be notes on the file, right? When it's, ATC one time, there's a note we check before we call them. Okay, so after the call, this is a second thing that could happen. We could move them into negotiating. Now, when they're in negotiating, that means that they have attended the strategy session and they are currently negotiating or considering. So usually it's not the right time. So I get people that come in and say, I'm currently working with a coach and it finishes in June, right? Or maybe they need to speak to a partner or a business partner before making a decision. To help alleviate the negotiation stage, a good thing to do at the beginning of your sales calls is ask if there's any other people that will be involved in the decision-making process and actually have them in the initial call. It will actually help you to close better as well when they're both on the same page and that person isn't going back trying to explain everything that's happened on the sales call. So, if you do start the call and they're in decision-making process, rebook and just leave them in setting, right? And do the call with the second person on the phone. So the manual process for this one, when they're in negotiating, we need to create a follow-up task, okay? I always ask them, when will they have a chance to make the decision, talk to the partner, whatever it might be, and then book in a follow-up call so that they don't fall through the cracks. Okay. Now, another thing that can happen at the end of the strategy call is awaiting payment. Now they've said, yes, I totally want to join you, but they may have requested a different start date with the payment. So generally, I will try to always get a deposit on the phone so that we can start to unlock everything for them. But if, for example, they're due to get paid on a specific date or they want to make sure that the payment comes out on the 15th of the month every month, we will put them in awaiting payment. Now, an important manual process at this stage is create a follow-up task. Let the accounts department know when the payment is to start, but still gather all the information to pass on to the accounts department, like their name, their email, phone, time zone, postal address, credit card details, because after the call, you can set everything up so that it automatically charges them at the correct date so that you don't have to remember to go back in later. So this will move from the closer to the accounts department if they move into awaiting payment, still within a sales qualified. Now, if they say yes and they make the payment and all the good things happen, they then move to won or closed stage. So this is when they join, right? But they've requested, they've actually just joined and they've made their first payment. So this slide is wrong. Imperfect action. I am not going to fix it. You know what I mean. Their payment has actually been received. So usually what we will do on a call is we send them a link straight to checkout. And while they're making their payment or the deposit, I'm opening up the online program so I can give them a bit of a welcome guided tour so they don't just pay and then you say, oh, I'll see you in a week. We get them onboarded within that call so that they've got something to sink their teeth into and they know what's coming next. Now, another thing that can happen at the end of the call, or it could also come off the back end of negotiating as well, is lost. So lost means that they've decided not to join. Now, this can happen in a couple of places. It can happen, you've qualified them as yes, they are a good fit on the triage call, but they don't want any further contact with you. Or you've conducted a strategy call, sales call, or they've talked to you in an inbox or an email and they've decided that it's not a good fit for them, or they've changed their mind about joining. Now, only move people into this stage if they do not want to be contacted again in the future. Otherwise, leave them in negotiating, okay? Or if they haven't yet booked, they'll be back in the qualified lead. So only put them into lost if they've said no more, don't want anything to do with you, because some of those people sitting in negotiations may qualify or actually follow through and close in a month or 2 or even 2 years, right? So never move anyone to lost until you're 100% sure they no longer want to work with you. All right, so that's all of the stages that we track in the Sparkle way, the SCA way, when it comes to our sales pipeline. So would you like to see how to actually set up a sales pipeline inside of Keap? Yes? All right. Well, let's head on over into Keap and I'll show you what that looks like. Okay, so here is Keap and we're just in my Sandbox account on the dashboard. And to find the pipeline, you head to the sales area, click on sales, and it will take you into the pipeline area. Now, you can create your own pipelines by clicking Manage Pipeline, and you can make up all different types of pipelines. So if you've got different products, you can have a different pipeline for each product. I do recommend, however, you just sell one thing and do it well. You'll scale 6-7 figures. One thing is all you need, okay? The less confusing the process, the easier it is for you as well. Okay, so that's how we create a pipeline. And then inside the pipeline, you can add your stages here. Okay, so you can just keep adding all the stages. So as you can see here, what I've done is I've created all the different stages that I told you about, each of the attempts to contact, okay, all along here. They're all in here. Okay, so what you do is when somebody comes in and they become a new lead, you can put them into the new lead pipeline automatically through the automation. Okay, add to new lead. If they have a phone number, you can set it up to add to new MQL. Now, once they're added in, we can also manually add them in. Let me just find. So you can manually add them in, okay, and then click Create Deal. Now what we can do with this person is they're now an MQL. We've checked they have a phone number and we're going to attempt to contact ATC 1, okay, which means we have to contact them within 24 hours. So we can create an automation to remind us to contact them within 24 hours. So we've moved them into ATC. We can click Automate this stage. And then we can say when person moves into this stage, so you've moved them into ATC 1, right? We've moved them from there to ATC 1. What happens then? Well, I want to create a task. And on that task, I want to say ATC 1 call within 24 hours. And then here you can insert like contacts first name, and then you'll be able to just click on the file. When is it due? It's due the same day or next day, okay? And who do you want to assign it to? So usually it's, our setter. This is my Sandbox account, so it doesn't have all the stuff in here. And now when we move, so if I click here next and create task, immediately click next. So when this happens, I send a task. Now, another way you can also remind yourself to do the job is you could send yourself an email or a notification can ping as well. So we used to send an email. Now we just go in and check where they're sitting and do our daily follow-ups, right? So now that that's done, we're going to publish that automation. And now you will see a little green, that means this stage has an automation. So if I move this person, oh, that's me, into this stage, what's going to happen is it will create a task, if I just refresh this screen, on the person's file. And can we see now it's got a number 1 next to it, which means this person now has a task. And you can come into home on your dashboard, and under the tasks widget, you can see all the people that you have tasks for on the day. So we do that, and then we go to, let's go back to sales. In ATC, this is to follow up in a week. So after they've called, right, they've done the thing, they've marked it complete, right? So once the thing is marked complete, then we can not edit automation. Then we can automate this stage, same thing again. So when person has been moved into this stage, right, we then say in stage 2, we want to create a task, and it's ATC 2, right? Follow up, call, any description you want to put in, and now it's in 1 week, right? So when they move in there, it's assigned to the closer, the setter or the closer, the setter. And then we click next and publish. So now, when we're in our tasks, let's just let that publish. We're in our tasks for here, right? We can see in there that this person has a task assigned to them because it's got, see that little 1 on there? And now I've called them, I can click task done and then move them where they're supposed to go. Okay, so now you can see when I moved it into that stage, when I refresh it, a 1 will come up telling me that I've got a task now, and it shows me the date in a week, and we can see on the home screen, here is ATC2 for the contact. And if we can just click on the contact, and we can read in here if we've got any notes that we've added. See here, ATC2, any other notes that were done on the customer's file. You know, you might, they've got a fluffy white dog. We should mention that when we call them. How's your fluffy white dog going? Okay, so every time you call them, you just leave a quick note on the file. Click notes, called, left voicemail, save note, right? Then mark the task complete. And then in the pipeline, we can even come in here and just automatically move them this way into 3. Okay, and then you can go through and set up any automations within the pipeline so that no leads fall through the cracks. Okay, so that is your sales pipeline so that you can track where people are. Awesome. All right, I'm going to come back to the VIP room now and let's see what they've got to say. Hello, VIPs. Hello, beautiful people. Let's get your key takeaways from today's lesson. And anyone out there on the live stream, feel free to drop a cue if you've got any questions. All right. Let's start with Robin. Robin, what's your key takeaway from today?
I just loved all of it. Just to have it all there in front of you. I guess I'm a visual person, and to have it all in front of me and to know exactly what comes next and to be able to track, move people forwards and backwards wherever they need to go. I love that.
Yeah. Another thing we do that I forgot to mention is if we ATC them, we'll also send them an email to say, hey, we tried to call you, left a message, right? If we know that we tried to call them. What about Sonia?
Kind of to piggyback off what Robin was saying, all of it was brilliant. I really loved how you explained how Keep will keep me organized so that nothing falls through the cracks, because that sometimes happens. So I really love the whole automation process. So you, from first contact all the way through the sale and probably even beyond, we have a way to, keep in contact with that client. I really love that.
Thank you. Sarah, who loves her some automation just as much as me. What did you think of that one, darling?
I love that. And of course, I want to get in and play with it and, see how it really works. You've given a really good overview. And I like the fact that I guess what it made me realize is that Keap is really the place to be when you're working with your clients. And I know that seems obvious, but it's more than just, moving them through the automations or checking where they are in the automations. It's, you can use the pipeline to see where they are in the process. You can go to the dashboard and see all different kinds of different things that are going on with them. So it's, I learned something new, and I'm glad, because I can see where this would be very useful.
I love it. I love it. What about Joanne? What was a key takeaway for you?
Again, step by step by step. I know where people are, where they need to be, and it keeps me from falling through the cracks, having them fall through the cracks. It helps me to follow through. I really like the idea of the automation. That was really good.
Excellent. Yeah. I love it. Emily, hello. Lovely to see you here. What was the key takeaway for you?
Hello, everyone. Let's be truthful. There's many. It's almost overwhelming how much information there was, but it was fantastic. Like the other ladies have said, I love the automation point. And for me, I'm looking forward to being able to put my first person through on it and then actually see the steps on which, how it goes. Because I am so not tech savvy. So
wow, darling.
Anything like this is a bit nerve-wracking to me. So once you said automation, I went, thank you, Jesus. Because it's, because I think the coaching side, I mean, for me, it's coaching side, but that's the easy side. The back office stuff is a bit, holy, what do you do, right?
Yeah.
So I'm very grateful for that.
Yeah. Well, you've got us. That's it.
Implementing it.
Yeah. And as you guys work through and you just jump into the VOS, right? Just jump into the VOS, ask the questions. I'm not sure what to do with this person, where to move them, or what should I set up? Just ask. Okay. That's what we're here for. What about Erica? You were here this morning and now you're back again for another session.
Oh my gosh. No, I'm excited. Just like the whole Keap and the organization. I love like being organized and just leverage off what everyone else just said too, is just you can track and flow and just really take care and a genuine interest in where those folks fall in the process.
Yeah.
So very cool. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, that's the thing with your pipeline. Once you practice using it, things get easier, right? Like with all automation, it might take you a minute to set it up. Like sometimes it just feels easier to write it on a Post-it note, right? Just write it down. But how many of those Post-it notes get lost or forgotten, or pieces of paper that you've like written all your people out on when they're in Keap? So Keap is so much more than just an autoresponder, right? It does so many. It's your marketing. Also, it's your sales and it's your admin, right, as well. So what you've got to do on a daily basis, it's more than just an email thing. There is way, way much more. So many more things. And I know some people are like, they get a little bit overwhelmed with all of its capabilities, but just learn one thing at a time, right? I wasn't this well-versed at Keap when I started. It was so overwhelming. You just learn one little thing at a time. And as long as you're learning one new thing a month, right, or even one small thing a week, just imagine where you'll be in 12 months' time. If you turn up with the mindset, and I hear this from clients all the time, oh, it's just too hard. It's not actually. It's the word you're using. If you come in with, wow, it's a new thing to learn, because this software is the thing that will make your life easier in the future. But, you know, to get there, you've got to get through the learning curve. And, you know, there's this thing called the Dunning-Kruger effect, right? When you start, you think you know it all. Then when you start to learn, you think, holy shit, there's so much more to learn than I thought, right? That's natural. So we just need to be aware of that and go, I know it's going to be a little difficult at the start, but I'm going to get good at this until I can hire somebody else, or you've got us. But you can outsource it, or all of you are in our program, so you've got us to help you with that. But the time, there's a reason why I call it my team in a box, because before I had a team, it was taking care of so many things for me. So many things. Awesome. All right, Q&A time. Before we go dark, do we have any questions or anyone need any clarification around what we covered here today? Yes, Joanne.
Sally, when you were starting out, did you have a seller or a setter, or was that you?
Me. I'm still the closer. I've had setters. I've had lots of setters come and go. There's a whole, you've got to be careful with your setters. If you're going to hire a setter, if you have a setter that gets paid per set, which means they've set a call, that's not great, because they'll just set anybody and anybody, right? They have to be qualified. So a really good thing to do with a setter is, if they're working on commission, so they're not just getting paid to work in your business, but they're working on commission, pay per close, because then they're going to give you qualified leads, because they only get paid if the set closes. So they're not going to waste your time. That's something I learned, because I paid somebody and they were getting paid an hourly, a daily rate to set, but they were just setting random stuff, right? And I needed it to be more qualified. And you set and close yourself. Yeah, just do that yourself. I mean, they're industry speak, but really it's just a follow-up phone call from you, right? But if you want to, learn the SCA way and understand when we're using the jargon and the terminology, setting, triage calls, sales calls, all of the steps that we shared with you today, when we have conversations and we're working together, you can say, oh, they're qualified. Or they're in negotiations, which means I know that you've had a sales call with them and now you're just waiting. So just understanding, and this is a huge part that we do within our team, there are lots of different ways and words to explain different things. What are the words you're going to use? And then the team need to be clear that they're using the right words, right? So to us, is a new lead means we don't have a phone number, right? But a marketing qualified lead means we have a phone number. That's our definition of what a marketing qualified lead is. Okay. Catherine.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes. Can you please remind me how long between each of the ATCs?
Yeah, sure. ATC 1 within 24 hours. ATCs 2 and 3 each week. ATCs 4, 5, and 6 is 2 weekly. And ATCs 7, 8, and 9 every 4 weeks. Now, what we do is ATC 1s are done every day, every single day. ATC 2s and 3s are done on a Tuesday. And ATCs... the middle one, the fortnightly ones, they're done on a Wednesday, and our ATCs 7 through 9, the monthlies, are done on a Thursday. It just helps to keep, because all the ATC ones have got to be done first. They're the critical, and then the next level down under critical is essential. So our criticals have to get done first, and then we move to the others. Does that help?
Great, thanks. Yep.
You're welcome. Sarah.
When you're moving a lead through the pipeline, are you manually moving them or can you automate that?
So there's a couple of things you can do, and it depends how you want to set it up and what works best for you. So I've shown you the keep pipeline option, and that would be a manual move where you just drag them to where they need to go. But you don't have to drag just in case, you drop them in the wrong area and it triggers the wrong thing. Go in and go move stage, how I showed you the second time around, if you've got to move it from,
Within the contact record?
Within the contact record, go to the pipeline, move stage, because you don't want to accidentally drop them, especially if you've got an email or a text message or something going out when they hit that stage and it's not meant to go out. So manually move them. We don't use the pipeline stage. I used to. But we are using Keep Classic, and we use a form, an internal form, so on the customer's file. So it's a different, same things happen, except we don't visually see them in a pipeline like that. We just get tasks that pop up every day, and we just know that our automation is doing what it's supposed to do. And then we can see, based on a report, how many people are sitting in each stage. So it's a little dashboard widget, but we don't have them sitting in a pipeline because Keep Classic doesn't have pipelines like this. Keep Pro and Keep Max, they all have pipelines, but I'm in the old Classic because I went back because I do love it. It's all about the function, not the prettiness.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Any other questions? Well, we're going to go dark and we're going to go deeper, and I've got some other secrets to share with you on the dark side, guys. So hang on in, which is not something I was going to share publicly. Got some more goodies for you from today. So hang on in. Everybody else out there on the live stream, if you enjoyed this training, we have other awesome training available for you. So if sales is something you want to improve, I've got a script for you that you can use on the sales calls. So just go to sparkleclassacademy.com/sales script. And it also comes with a little workshop as well. So if that's what you need help with, is increasing your sales and being able to get people from cold to sold faster using the right verbiage on a sales call, right? Then this sales script and process around it is available for you at sparkleclassacademy.com/sales script. So don't forget, if you love today, make sure you go and see Dr. Sparkle. She'll hook you up with reminders. And if you don't want to miss any of the lives, subscribe, like, and hit the little bell button to join us over here on YouTube. But thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today. And as always, never let anyone dull your sparkle. Get at least one income-producing activity done each and every day. And I'll see you next week on the next live. Bye, guys.
You've been hiding in the shadows way too long. You always thought that you were weak, but babe, you're wrong. Yeah, you better step into the light, just give it a try. Think that it's time you let that spark out. You've been hiding in the shadows way too long.